Hello, Flickers. Welcome to your Earth astrology reading for the month of June. We are going to start by pulling an overall theme for the month from the Nordic runes. And then we are going to do the crow spread with the Crow Tarot. And then we will clarify with the original 1909 tarot. So let's see what is going on for the flickers, for the month of June. All right, there's the initial spread. Perfect. Okay. So let's start with your overall energy or overall theme for the month. And here you have one yo. So one yo is the rune of contentment. This rune says that you have all that you need. This is the warm, fuzzy feeling when everything is as it should be. So again, I feel like, it's also a rune of coziness, comfort, and relaxation. So again, I feel like you are going to feel very content and very safe this month, Flickers. All right, going to your heart space. We have the Nine of Wands, and this is in your heart space. So this is, what is in your heart right now. And here we have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is my card of the Wounded Warrior. So I feel like the Flickers have kind of been going through it lately. I kind of feel like they have been fighting many battles, some, battles with other people and some internal battles as well. But the Nine of Wands is a card, again, that says, it is the wounded warrior, but you have won your battles and you've created a lot of protection around yourself right now. And the Nine of Wands is also a card of experimentation. It's a card of trying new things and, throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I would say get creative. I kind of actually feel like Flickers are feeling a little bit creative right now and are very much willing to try new things. But let's clarify the Nine of Wands. With the Nine of Wands, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is a card of evaluating your progress. And again, as far as your overall theme being contentment and having all that you need, I really feel like so the shadow, I guess, of one yo would be yearning, loss, and pain. Okay. So again, I would, as far as evaluating your progress, I would be looking at the things that are causing you pain still, or the things that you are yearning for. And if you are yearning for something, what is it? Why? And, is that something that you need in your life? And maybe experiment and find out. Next, we go to your current energy. And here we have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is my card of sitting in the energy of what you want. And I feel like the Flickers, that's going to be important. Surrounding yourself with the things and the people that you want in your life. Now, the Nine of Cups for me is also a card that says it's a good time for the Flickers to make a wish. But when you make this wish, you also have to believe that it can happen. But let's clarify the Nine of Cups. So with the Nine of Cups, we have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is a card of not taking on, knowing your limits and not taking on more than you can handle. And again, I like with that, Nine of Cups there, the sitting in the energy of what you want. Again, you don't want to be overloaded, which you have been, right? So the Five of Swords is kind of saying, to me that there could be people who ask you to take on things right now. But again, I feel like in your current mood, in your current energy, you are just not willing to take the load of other people right now. And that's probably a good thing. Next, we go to the we go to the area of your crossing energy. So this can be what either helps you or what hinders you. And here you have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles can be a card that says, don't hold on to your resources too tightly. And again, especially if you have some sort of like um, early success or financial victory in something, I would say like don't hoard your resources right now. Resources, money, just like anything else, it's all energy, and it needs to flow. Okay. And again, I do feel like if especially for those who have had some success right now, there is more to come. So don't feel like you have to hold on to what you have. All right. With the Four of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is a card of freeing yourself from self-imposed restrictions. And again, when we are holding on to our resources too tightly, we often put many, many restrictions on ourselves. So Spirit is saying like, don't restrict yourself right now. Again, it's not saying go and be frivolous with your money, but again, don't put yourself into a place of lack out of fear that those resources aren't going to replenish themselves. So again, don't put binds on yourself this month. Okay, allow yourself to get the things that you need. Then we go into the area of your hopes and fears. And here we have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is the dreamer of the tarot, can also represent your inner child. And I do feel like the Flickers do have a dream right now, something, a goal, something that they are working towards. And again, I feel like there is a lot of hope in this dream. But again, of course, there is probably a little bit of fear there as well. But let's clarify the Page of Cups. So with the Page of Cups, we have the Magician. So the Magician is a card of powerful manifestation. And again, I feel like this is saying to you, Flickers, don't fear this dream. You literally have the power to make this dream come true. And again, I'd like to see where the Magician's wand is pointing sometimes when we put it down. And when I put the card down, it actually literally points to the rune of contentment, right? So I feel like you have this dream of contentment, Flickers, and the Magician is saying that you have the power to manifest exactly what you are looking for. Next, we go to your grounding energy. So this is the energy that is going to keep you centered and connected to the present. And the Page of Pentacles, this can be my card of studiousness. It's a card of learning. So again, whatever this dream is, whatever this goal is, do your due diligence, do your research into this, get as much information, gather as much information as you can, because the Page of Pentacles can also say that you are at the beginning stages of something. So again, gather as much information. Knowledge is power, I would say. But let's clarify the Page of Pentacles. So with the Page of Pentacles, we have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is a card of community, celebration, and abundance. So again, like I do feel like there are people you do have a community around you who are very supportive of you. And again, I feel like they are happy that you are experiencing this newfound abundance. And again, I feel like these people, and again, you may have to search for these people, but there are people there who are willing to help you learn. So again, what's going to keep you grounded is learning as much as you can about whatever this dream is that you have, and then sharing that dream with those people who are closest to you. Next, we go to lessons from the past. And here we have the Seven of Swords. So This is lessons or experiences that serve as reminders or offer advice to us. So with the Seven of Swords, this is a card of um, lying, cheating, and stealing. And it's also a card of tactics. So, first of all, I would say that you have had experiences in the past, Flickers, where you have experienced the energy of a liar, cheater, and or stealer. Okay, but again, I feel like you have grown past this, right? And first of all, I feel like you can spot a liar, cheater, or stealer from like a mile away now, right? But again, these are things that you had to experience in order to get you to where you are now. But with the Seven of Swords, we have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is a card of gusto. It's a card of speed, and it's also a card of rapid growth, right? And again, I do feel like the Flickers are entering a period of rapid growth right now. And again, everything that happened to you in the past or that happened in the past, any of this lying, cheating, stealing energy, this was meant to slingshot you forward. Okay, this was actually for your benefit. It might feel weird for me to say that, but it was actually for your benefit to get you to grow. Next, we go to external forces. And here we have the Four of Wands. So this is energy that can enter without invitation. And the Four of Wands, first of all, is a card of marriage, commitment, and it's also a card of freedom. So first of all, I do feel um, I do feel like actually the Flickers could be witnessing some sort of marriage, some sort of commitment that is happening. And again, I kind of feel like this is pushing them in a certain direction, in a good way, not in a bad way. But I feel like, the Flickers are going to see, commitment, marriage, and the freedom that comes with that. And again, I feel like this energy is going to really affect the Flickers in a very positive way. But let's clarify the Four of Wands. So with the Four of Wands, we have the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is my card of repeating patterns. And I kind of feel like witnessing this commitment, witnessing this marriage, I kind of feel like this could break a pattern for you. Perhaps you feel like all relationships or all situations end up the same way, and that they all run a certain pattern. But again, I feel like you are witnessing the breaking of patterns, right? The breaking of chains. And again, I feel like it's going to be very, very impactful for the Flickers. And then finally, we come to the outcome. And here we have the King of Pentacles, right? So again, back to that initial, overall theme of contentment with that one yo. The King of Pentacles would be the kind of the same energy. So you start with contentment and you end with contentment. Like I feel like the Flickers are going to feel really at home with themselves by the end of this month, if that makes sense, to everybody. And I also feel, again, things are going to start looking up financially for the Flickers as well. Sometimes I say that the King of Pentacles is my card of having the Midas touch, where everything you touch turns to gold. And yeah, I'm kind of feeling that as you exit Gemini season and enter into your own, the deer season, and as you enter into Flicker season, that's when you're going to really, really feel that contentment, that safety, and that being at home within yourself. And then with the King of Pentacles, we have the Six of Swords. So moving on to calmer shores. I love it. What a way to end the reading. Safety, contentment, and calm. I love it. What a beautiful reading. Flickers, thank you so much for joining me. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that wonderful YouTube stuff. It really does help the channel, and I truly do appreciate it, as I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Bye for now.